Hello, so I would like to share some information about Pentecostalism presentation. And one of the questions was number one question, how did the Pentecostalism movement started? Pentecostalism movement started around 20th century and with the rise and the big number of Protestant churches within the people that were charismatic religious, which was also a religious movement. And then within the United States. So it's believed that all what they believed in, they had a unique belief, which they believed in that Christians should seek a post-conversion religious experience called baptism with the Holy Spirit. Recalling the Holy Spirit is distinct upon the first Christians in Jerusalem on the day of the Pentecost, or Shabbat, which is in the Acts of Apostles between 2 and 4. This is the experience to have been common in the Christian movement during its first generation. And the second question was, how did the Pentecostalism grow? Pentecostalism grew with the charismatic religious movements that gave a big rise number of Protestant churches in the United States again around 20th century that has again a unique belief, and all Christians should seek a post-conversion religious experience called baptism with the Holy Spirit. But within the early 20th century, Pentecostal missionaries began arriving in the South America, and they started doing well almost immediately. One of the reasons was emphasizing gifts of the Holy Spirit, such as faith healing, which was resonated with many people. And then the third question was, explain in which the story of the Pentecostal movement affected me and why. Pentecostal is basically about Christianity that emphasizes the work of the Holy Spirit. And the Holy Spirit is very important in our lives. That makes us to believe in God even more, to be able to communicate with Him, as we always say. And faith has to be very powerful for us to be able to communicate with God. If we don't have the Holy Spirit in us and feel it, then we won't be able to really communicate with Him. And God's power and the Holy Spirit's power is very important. And it did affected me in a way by practicing the Holy Spirit in church, by attending to the church, makes us even more powerful and believe in ourselves and build our confidence when we look at it, which that helped me out with that also, because I just don't think it is, we could also, before we go to bed, we could always, pray for God and then wish for everybody, a lot of us, for healthness and happiness. But going into the church and actually feeling Him, and when you close your eyes and having that smile on your face is very important. And I believe that Pentecostal is very powerful, charismatic religious way of people being able to having the rise of Christianity. And basically, this is how it is. And the fourth question was, explain if I believe or not that every Christianity should live Pentecostal way and why. Well, I do believe that every Christian should live with the Pentecostal way, because Pentecostal is not like just being religious. It depends on what you believe in, what you want to do, or what you see God as. And I have had a lot of relatives also, as my step-grandmother, she was always going to the church on Sundays, and I started to go to the church by being influenced by my Christian friends, because they have had faith in me as much as I did with them. And I do believe that living with the Pentecostal is not a bad thing at all, because we are God's people and God's sacrifice for us, so we should be sacrificing for Him also as believing Him. And this is very important in our lives.